Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Hi, Kamal. Hi, Casey. Oh,
Hi.
we're all here.
Hey Zach, hey guys.
For anyone joining, this is the Paul College Accepted Students Visit Day today, and right now I'm with 3 Paul College students, 4 including myself, and here we're just for an hour just going to talk on Instagram Live about our favorite Paul College experiences and who we are as students and all that fun stuff. The session will officially begin at 10:30, so if you want to grab a drink or get all comfortable to watch these beautiful faces talk about Paul College, feel free to do so. Yeah, and then as always, there's a chat in the bottom if you want to upload any questions. I'll try and monitor it as time goes on, but if I miss a couple, my apologies. Also, if I get too close to the screen, my apologies again. My nose is like right there. I'm gonna get it all perfectly situated. Oh, Casey, you're popular. I'm checking on the chat. Awesome. We
Oh
got
my God.
some Casey super fans.
Casey.
Casey super fans. Oh.
I love it. Let's see. So we'll get going in about 1 minute. Drink of water.
So Jacob.
This is so fun. You guys are so popular. I feel like we're on Jimmy Fallon and I'm Jimmy Fallon. You guys like the guests, you know what I mean? And all the people in the crowd are like, yay! Oh my gosh, it's
Oh
Jamie! Musical guest star Kamal. And then Casey, you're obviously just another amazing guest. I try to think of what the talk show host that has like his assistant with him. I think that's Conan, but I don't know. But enough goofing around. I believe it's 10:30, so let's get this session started. So once again, thank you all for joining us today. This is Paul College's Accepted Students Visit Day. My name is Zachary Marion. I'm a senior here at Paul College. I'm a marketing major and a minor in theater. And I am here today to monitor a nice Instagram Live we have with 3 amazing Paul College students. They'll introduce themselves in a second, but so basically we're going to do like a little Q&A between the 4 of us, and I'm going to ask them just basic questions about Paul College that are really meaningful and impactful as to why they chose to come here, why they chose to stay, and why they're happy to be here. Throughout the live, if you want to upload any questions in the chat, feel free to do so. I'll be monitoring that. Sorry if I miss a couple. So many people are joining, and I don't want to. A question might get lost in the chat, but so I thought I'd be upfront about it. But yeah, I got my questions here on hand. But again, if you have any questions or want to give a shout out to one of these awesome people, feel free to message anything in the chat. I'm also going to download this video at the end, and it will be uploaded to the Paul College Instagram. So this will be here forever. I'm kidding, but okay. Without further ado, I'm going to start with someone in my grade. So I'll start with Jamie, and then we'll work our way down based on grade level. So Jamie, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, and why don't you do name, year, major, and hometown? Sorry, I should have prefaced that.
Definitely. So my name's Jamie. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm originally from Connecticut, and I'm a senior hospitality management student.
Awesome. Now let's kick it off to Kamal.
My name is Kamal. I'm a junior. He and his. I study business administration with dual concentration in marketing and management, and I'm from Dover, New Hampshire.
Awesome. And finally, we have Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I am an economics major right now, and I'm thinking about minoring in French, and I'm from Bedford, New Hampshire.
Awesome. So as you can see, we have 3 completely different students here, whether it's grade-wise or major-wise, just 3 completely different people who all have had such positive impacts on Paul College, and Paul College has also had a positive impact on them. So we'll dive right into it. I'm going to ask the question I think a lot of people on this chat are just very curious about to begin with. How is this year going regarding where you're living, doing the Zoom in-class hybrid situation, participation-wise? Just we'll kick it off from there. I'm going to do a little snake pattern, so I'll start with now Casey, and we'll work our way up to Jamie, and then next question we'll work our way down from Jamie to Casey. So Casey, just how's this year going, handling with COVID and everything? Because obviously it's the elephant in the room, and I feel like it'd be great to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly was surprised about how well this year has gone for me. I had no idea what to expect, especially with the transition from high school to college in the first place, especially with a pandemic. So it was really nerve-wracking coming into it, but the people I met right off the bat were really supportive, and I had a really good group around me from day one. And so it honestly felt like we were all the freshmen, at least. We were all like in the same position. And so it kind of was like almost like a good, like a funny experience for all of us because we're all like, yeah, we're in a pandemic, but we're going to make the best of it. And academics wise, things have been actually really great. I have mostly in person classes right now, which is really great because I know a lot of my friends in other schools are all remote. So I'm really thankful for that, and I have the same opportunities that I would have had without the pandemic. So it's been going really well for me.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you. Kamal?
This year has been going well for me as well. However, all of my classes are online. So that's still getting used to that as well. But professional development wise, it's been really great. I really like how UNH has been dealing with the situation, keeping the cases low, and that's what I like about this campus also is that they're trying to keep everyone safe, and that's what I like about the school.
I totally agree. 100%. And Jamie?
Yeah, I definitely think we're doing really well. The faculty and staff have been absolutely amazing in transitioning to this kind of online virtual setting, especially like the career department. We're still having events and networking events and career events. And then organizations are still able to get together, whether it's via Zoom or in a small group in person. So I think that definitely this semester has been like a huge progress in the virtual setting, and I think that it's definitely good.
Awesome. I think a question just popped up in the chat, and I think it kind of relates to what we're talking about right now. So real quick, I believe the question is asking from 0 to 10, how would you rate your dorm room experience? So regarding safety-wise, comfortability, friendship-wise. Casey, I think I'm going to start with you on this one because I think you are obviously in the dorm right now. Just basically real quick, how would you describe your experience?
I live in Williamson Hall, so that's one of the freshman dorms, and it's all freshmen, which I really love, because I feel like I can run into anyone and I know they're in the same grade as me, which is really nice. I really like my dorm. Like, I honestly like my bed here more than my bed at home for some reason. And my roommate's great. We get along really well. We're really good friends. I love it. I'd rate it 10 out of 10.
Awesome. And then just to preface it, Casey is currently living in one of the 5 freshman-only dorms, but are also the rest of the residential halls. They are comprised of at least 25% freshmen. So if you're in a residential building that's not freshman-only, do not worry because you'll be on a floor and have a roommate and be surrounded by all freshmen by at least 25%, which is super awesome. So you'll never be next to a senior with like a junior roommate. You'll be with all first-year students, which is really great. Well, thank you. I definitely wanted to answer that question now, just in case a lot of questions come flooding in. And that was like the very first question. But okay, now let's continue the snake pattern. Jamie, I'm gonna toss it to you. What has been your favorite class so far here at Paul?
Oh, it definitely has to be my Intro to Food and Beverage course. So in the business school, as a hospitality student, we have a full kitchen and a chef that has owned multiple restaurants. And so he teaches the Intro to Food and Beverage course, and we're able to cook in the kitchen and then have also a lecture to kind of learn about how to manage a kitchen in a restaurant. So that was definitely my favorite.
Oh, that sounds so good. I would solely
And
be a hospitality student just to make food and eat the food.
yeah, the food is delicious.
That's so awesome. Come on, what about you?
My favorite courses has to be the Business in Practice HubSpot Marketing. Shout out to Neil and Jen and Guillaume. Through that course, I was able to learn hand in hand with a client, actually developing content strategy for their business in the long term. So that's really cool to work on and making that impact, working with clients and helping them improve their business model. So that's what I like. of the course.
That's awesome. I love those BIP courses too. They're
Yeah,
like really
they're awesome.
helpful and they really improve your professional development. Casey, what about you? I know you've only had one whole semester in your belt so far, but I feel like there has to be one diamond in the rough, huh?
Yeah, I take right now I'm taking mostly my like basis foundation classes.
Right.
But my favorite so far has been for surprisingly microeconomics or intro to microeconomics. Because I found it really interesting and I liked kind of the abstract ideas that come with economics. And my professor Robert Moore was a really good professor too.
Oh, awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I remember my freshman year, you're taking your basic level business classes, and until I took marketing, that's when I knew myself personally that I wanted to then pursue a concentration and a career in marketing. So I'm glad that, we have the business administration program in place, so you can take all those intro to business classes and really get your feet wet in all the different areas. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you're already taking interest in them, like very right off the bat as a first year student. That's great. Thank you guys. Okay, let's keep it moving. What about our favorite faculty or staff connections? So whether it's with a peer advisor, an advisor in the advising office, the CAPS office, or just a faculty like a professor. Casey, I'm going to start with you, work our way up again. Do you happen to have anyone that has already made a strong impression on you?
Probably my microeconomics teacher or professor again, Robert Moore. He was just he was really understanding if you ever had any problems or like struggled to understand something. And the way that he delivered the material was really easy for me to understand, which I was really nervous about economics because there was like a dark cloud over it, but I really enjoyed it. And the way that he taught it to us was really effective. So he probably is one of the reasons why I chose economics as my major.
That's awesome. I love that. Kamal, how about you?
I would say Leslie Smith, shout out to Caps. She's been helping me a lot through my professional growth. She's just an awesome faculty. She's really great. I recommend you guys, if you're a marketing major or planning to be in marketing, reach out to her. She'll definitely help you with your professional career. Yeah.
That whole office is really awesome.
Yes, actually,
Leslie
all Caps.
included, obviously. They really know how to increase all our professional development, and it's truly awesome that we have that resource. Great, thank you. And what about you, Jamie?
I would definitely have to say Teresa. I actually just looked up her title so I wouldn't butcher it. It's the Senior Program Support Assistant. And she basically is the assistant for the hospitality department. And she basically acts like our mom. You could go to her with anything that you need, whether it's class concerns or if you want to get more involved or if you have an idea with hospitality that you want to incorporate. She's always open to listening to you and a great support.
Awesome. I think all those people are super helpful. One, I'm going to answer a couple too, because I just can't not keep my mouth shut, clearly. But especially about faculty and staff really having a positive impact on us students. I actually work in Paul College Advising, which is an advising office for academics. So there's 8 advisors on hand, and they're there to help us regarding adding a class, dropping a class, choosing our major, switching a major, going abroad, anything like that. And I have been meeting with them ever since I stepped foot on campus because I want to make sure I had all my ducks in a row and I was doing what I need to do. And I loved meeting with my advisor so much that I made it very clear to then try and get a job there. And so I'm only at the front desk employee, so all I do is pull files. But just being with those experienced staff members all the time and just picking their brains about the different programs Paul has and any questions I have and just any support, because I love support. I love just being in that office because they help in any single way regarding that. So that's my favorite thing. And I love all of them. But so, all right, awesome. Thank you, everyone. And I'm just looking at the chat. I definitely want to answer some of these questions now just in case they get lost. So we have, what is the best place to hang out on campus? And we have actually UNH Paul Flyer. Woo! I'm repping you right now. It came in hot with some great places on campus like Tea Hall, the Fishbowl. Does anyone else have any place on campus that they really like to hang out? I'm just gonna open up to the 3 of you, and if anyone has one, feel free to just call it out.
This semester, actually, no, it started last semester. They started putting a tent up in the courtyard of Paul College, and that's honestly my favorite place to go. You get like a little shade, and there's some tables there, so you can work outside. So I love that.
I totally agree. Awesome. Okay, just Casey, do you happen to have one, or Kamal?
Yeah, I really like the grand room in the library, especially when it's snowing outside. It's so pretty, and I just like get my coffee, I sit in there, and I'm like so motivated. So that's definitely one of my favorite places to do work, at least.
I totally agree. Kamal, what about you?
For me, I would say the UNH MUB. There's actually the MUB Union courtroom also, and the Bureau Center there. I hang out there a lot sometimes. See some friends and do my homework, and it's a really great place for you to meet new people and study.
I totally agree. I think the MUB is like the heart of student life on campus, and
Mhm.
so you're just always surrounded by like school spirit and stuff like that. I love the Union Court area as well. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And then we also have just a couple more, and I want to make sure we answer them now while we still have the people on the live. We have here, what does your daily life as a Paul College student look like normally? Does anyone know right off the bat? Want to answer that one? Because I would, yeah, go for it, Casey.
So I'll just do like one of my daily schedules. So I'll do my Thursday schedule because that's my
Perfect.
So I'll get up. I have a class at 8 in the morning, which is common for freshmen. I have intro to business, and then I have a break from 9:30 until 12:40. So in between that time, I usually get breakfast, maybe take a nap, and maybe get some work done. And then I have 12:40 to 2, I have economics, macro. And then after that class, I usually go right to the library and get a bulk of my work done, come back, hang out with my friends, like bachelor night, whatever it is. And then that's basically the rundown of one of my days. So it's really easy to balance friendships, schoolwork, and getting all of your work done, especially if you like do it earlier in the day.
Totally. Can anyone else add anything? If not, we can totally move on. But I just definitely want to open up to you two.
I'll just add that I spend a lot of my days in the Paul breakout rooms, and so you can reserve these rooms to do work in, which is great. And you can also reserve them if you need to do some kind of interview. I know I usually try to schedule a room to do interviews because it's a quiet professional place. So it's definitely a great spot to study.
I second that. What about you, Kamal?
On what Casey said, yeah, I really like the Paul breakout rooms. It's also the best way, especially like in the hybrid learning environment. You get to attend a class in person and then book a room after, and then go to like a space where you can like be confident to study and in a quiet room. So I really like about that. And aside from that, usually hang out with friends and attend organization meetings, whether that's in person or online. So that's really awesome about it.
Awesome. I totally agree. So just to wrap up that question, summarize basically everything that everyone said. You got your classes, but also a lot of us are involved in different things. We're going to get into that later, but you can either go from class to the dining hall, back to your dorm, do some work, go to work, go to class. It really just depends on the schedule that you have, but it's it's very easy to time manage because of the way everything's structured. It definitely is a learning curve at the beginning, but as soon as you get here, and I'm sure Casey can attest to it, us peer advisors, Jamie and I, we are seniors and some juniors. We're here to help lead a class of 20 freshmen to help their adjustment from high school to college. And a lot of that we focus on time management because it is tough because you're going from high school to college, which obviously you've never done before. But I think it is just like a typical student day. But also regarding your different major and your career and your different major and your like involvement and work stuff, that all depends on what would make up your student schedule. I mean, Jamie and I are going to be entering like we're entering right now our senior capstone classes, focusing really on our specific major oriented stuff. Casey right now is completing the business administration program, and she's also completing the discovery program. So we're all just doing completely different things, but it definitely depends on the person, but we're all having fun, the four of us, in our own different ways. So hopefully that can answer that question. And then Someone also asked, have any of you lived in the living learning community for Paul? And if so, what was it like? I personally have never, but even if you guys haven't, is there anyone that can maybe talk about that?
I haven't lived there, but it is a smaller community, and it's Smith Hall, right? It's a small hall, and it's right across from Paul, and so it's really convenient.
I think it's actually, I want to say it's actually Scott Hall, and then because the Smith Hall is admissions, and then also Stoke. I think like right when we were leaving our sophomore year, they implemented another like learning community, and it's for a lot of business students. And I lived in Stoke at that point in time, and if you ever tour Paul College, it's that huge building right next to it, and also Scott Hall is the one that's right next to that. It's a lot smaller, but completely different styles. But they do have living and learning communities that are really awesome because you can be placed with students completing the same track as you. So you can go to class together. It's a great way to make connections. And also the RA, the residential assistant on those floors will also be like a part of that program. So whether it's a Paul Scholar or a business student in general. So if you ever have any questions like, hey, where's this class? Or what are your recommendations about performing well in this class? You can totally just ask them. And it's a great way just to be with a cohort that you guys all have a lot of similar things. Fire, once again, I'm going to probably bring up fire the whole time, but once again, what every freshman has to take, and the thing that Jamie and I, the program we're a part of, that is also in place. So a bunch of all the freshmen can be with 19 other freshmen, and they can also meet and recognize each other, and then be like, oh, we can sit next to each other in class or work on a group project together. But the living and learning communities are just even more reinforcement for that. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, we got a lot of questions coming in, but I definitely want to nail the ones that are the really important, the really like meat and potatoes questions that we have going on. So everyone, what is your favorite resource on Paul College? Whether it's different offices in Paul College, a program, you know what I'm trying to say. So I guess I'll kick it off to Jamie first, and we'll do.
Well, I'll definitely say the CAPS department in Paul College. It's right in Paul College, so it's really convenient. And they do everything from, you could do mock interviews with them. If you're like you don't know what you want to do and you're trying to search for careers to get a better path in your college career, they can help you with that, with resume building, with your cover letters. You can make appointments, or you can also just walk in whenever you need to. So it's really convenient and helpful.
Awesome. What about you, Kamal?
Besides from CAPS, I would say the advising office as well. They'll provide you with anything regarding your journey throughout college. But aside from that, I would also say like the organizations within Paul College. So like if you're into marketing, you can join the marketing advertising club, or if you're into investment, you can join. Is it Atkins Investment Group or Ryan's Angel Fund, I believe?
Yep,
like in
both.
finance. There's a lot of places where you can grow yourself and meet many people that's will push you to grow and broaden your network.
Awesome. And finally, Casey.
I also really think CAPS is a really huge resource for all of us. Like I'm getting a free professional photo taken for my LinkedIn profile in April, which is amazing. But I also think my academic advisors are a huge resource for me. I've met with them. I have two. I've met with them multiple times already this year to look at the track of where I'm going. And I've been able to like lay out my classes for the 4 years I'm here. So I really have a good grip on like my plan, which is really helpful because there's a lot of things I'm still unsure of, but at least I have some things in concrete.
Totally. And those are all offices that are located in Paul College. They have also implemented a virtual setup. So you can either meet virtually or you can go in person in the office. If you ever step foot in the advising office, you'll see me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's on you, to your discretion. But yeah, those are definitely two main offices that are super, super helpful with us regarding academics and our careers, which are obviously two most important things, in my opinion. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite experience/event? So I don't exactly mean clubs just yet because we'll get into that, but favorite experience or event, like whether it was the URC or going to be the URC, or Jamie, it could be your hospitality dinner you've had. I won't put words in your mouths, but definitely just to clarify if you guys are like, wait, what is he talking about? But so Casey, I'm gonna start with you.
Probably one of my favorite experiences so far is happening right now with the spring coming about. And like being able to lay out, me and my friends will lay out blankets on T Hall lawn and do work there, which is really nice, even though we all got burnt the other day. But it's a really good experience just to see UNH in its full capacity. And it's just really inspiring for me.
Awesome. I cannot wait for the warm weather as well. What about you, Kamal?
I would say the UNH, entertainment. You can go to like sports if you like hockey. You can go like every, spring semester or like late is it late fall semester? You can attend like hockey games and basketball games, and you can also, there's this organization called Scopes, which is they do semesterly concert, which is awesome. They brought over many multiple artists from Kendrick Lamar, Future, any great artist every semester. They brought over for a concert, and I usually go there, and it's an amazing experience. You get to meet so many people, and yeah.
Awesome. I definitely love everything that Scope does, and especially the upcoming shows that they've had this spring and the ones they will have. It's so awesome. We have like actual celebrities coming, Zoom obviously at right now, but I just think that's so cool. So I second that, definitely. What about you, Jamie?
I think CAB, the the campus activity board, they put on a lot of great events, and one of my favorite is the bingo nights that they put on Thursday nights, which are always fun to go to. I think also another thing is the MUB movies. So in the third floor of the MUB, they have a movie theater, and they put on movies there, so you could do that throughout the weekend as well.
100%. I love everything that CABS does too. Last Friday, actually, I did Friends Trivia. You can actually see my poster right there. I did not win. I don't want to talk about it, but those are super awesome events that are happening on campus all the time. And so you're truly never really bored here, which I love. My favorite, I really love to talk about mine because it will for always be one of my favorite days. It's actually an annual day, and it's called University Day. We call it U Day for short. You'll see once you get to school, people like to abbreviate a lot of things. So the U Day is my favorite day, and it happens the second week of the start of the academic year, so around like probably the first week or so in September, and it happens on like a Wednesday, and it's always, of course, a beautiful day by coincidence, and basically the whole Main Street is blocked off in every single club and organization, and now we have 250 plus clubs and orgs. They all open up a physical like booth and line around the perimeter, all of like the T Hall lawn and like the fishbowl lawn, and it's like this big like carnival, if you will, where you have like food trucks and music, entertainment, and all the clubs are either, if it's like the tap dance club, there's like a whole plaque where they do a lot of tap dance, volleyball with all like passing around a volleyball. It's just so cool because it shows you all the involvement opportunities here, and we truly have every single club you could ever think of, which is like, wow, like that's crazy. And you just walk around, you just sign up, you just put your name and email on a list, and then the club will reach out to you and be like, hi, would you like to be a part of this? And you just go from there. So I really like it because it's a great way to get involved, and I love involvement here at UNH and, of course, Paul College. Thank you, everyone. Well, I think that's a great leeway into our next point. Let's talk about clubs, and you can talk about clubs in general, but we all four of us are in completely different organizations, which is awesome. So we have definitely different taste of different things you could participate here at UNH. So Jamie, do you want to just kick it off and talk about your clubs and maybe focus on one in particular that you love?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have to rep APO, which is the service fraternity on campus. I've been a part of it since my sophomore year. And basically, it's a great opportunity to meet a lot of different people that are from different colleges, and then also get some community service, which is a lot of fun, but also a great thing to put on your resume. So overall, just a great opportunity.
What about you, Kamal?
For me, I would say UNH Max. So they have like an AMA, which is American Marketing Association. So you get to be involved in marketing related events. So we get to, go to these conferences and compete on, sales pitch or, any case studies and teacher competition, which is really cool. Also, I was also involved in Scope, which is you get to like, it's a fully student-run organization. So you get to pick the artists from the beginning, planning it to till the end, to like the stage build, etc. And so I was involved in the publicity department, so which is the marketing department for Scope. So I get to, you know, make posters, videos, and, you know, posting on social media posts, which is really awesome. It's a great experience. If you're into music, I highly recommend joining Scope, and if you're into marketing as well, highly recommend back. But yeah, aside from that, right now I'm a TA, I guess, for a business practice program. So like you get to help instructor, industry professional transitioning from, you know, their work into like teaching towards the students. So you get to like be the bridge between them. So you get to help them, you know, be a better instructor in a way, which is awesome.
And then Kamal, well, two things now. One, you have a message, Kamal, with the haircut with the hard eyes. People like your haircut, and I do too. I think it's awesome. And then also, do you mind talking about the Connect program as well?
Yeah, so Connect program is for upcoming freshmen. So it helps you transition from the high school life also into college. So you get to be assigned with a mentor that helps you with the transition also, and get you learn with many things. In that program also, we have like a Paul Connect program, which we meet every month. So you get to work with the associate dean and, you know, Rachel, which is the um, advising faculty, and, you know, learn many ways you can be involved on campus, and you get to meet many different people in that organization too, which is awesome.
Right.
Highly
Awesome.
recommend the Connect program.
Yes, 100%. Thank you. What about you, Casey?
So I'm involved in Women in Business, which is a club that is just comprised of all of the women who join the club that are in Paul College. And I really like that club because it's like, it makes Paul College a little bit smaller. And I have a group of really supportive people around me. So that's really awesome, and a lot of really good opportunities to meet employers and all of that. And I also am involved in Net Impact Club, which is a sustainability club on campus. There's a few, but that's the one I'm in. And we right now are working on getting UNH Fair Trade certified, which is really cool. I love to be involved in that process. And I'm also a Paul Scholar, which is just, again, a smaller group of Paul College students. There's about 200 or so of us.
I think the Paul Scholar program is super awesome. But then also, circling back, I already forgot, what was the first one? Oh, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Women in Business conference, wasn't that yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yep. How was it?
That was really good. I played it while I was like cleaning my room. It was really nice. I joined the keynote speaker, Alisa, and she was talking, the whole theme was like the power of your voice. And she was like a CEO. She's in board of directors of Bumble right now. And so that was really cool to listen to, like, a woman and how she worked her way to where she is now, and all of her experiences. It was really, really cool.
That's so awesome. The conferences that the Women in Business program puts on are so awesome. And so that's great. And yeah, that was literally yesterday. So that's cool how that just worked in itself.
I know.
We got 20 minutes left, but we have a lot of questions coming in. We have UNH Paul Fire, the Instagram. I want to say that's Andrea. I think one of the main advisors of the whole program. I think she's chiming in to help us keep track of all these questions. But there's definitely a couple that I wanted to make sure we address. I love this one. Does anyone have any does anyone have any least favorite aspects of business? Like, what should we be wary of? I think that's very subjective, but does anyone want to take that question? Because I totally can, because I can tell you right now, I don't love every single aspect of business. No, I mean, I definitely love business in general, but I'm completing a business administration major. And so I'm equipped with a lot of knowledge on accounting, finance, marketing, information systems, and business analytics. However, marketing is my cup of tea. I definitely love marketing. I love dealing with new products. I love working with sales. That's just me. So when it comes to maybe doing a little bit of like numbers on the calculator, not my favorite scenario, but definitely super helpful, very useful, and it's something that I will literally use for the rest of my life. I'm sure everyone else to attest. That's the beauty of choosing a concentration or a very specific major, like just choosing hospitality, like Jamie has. You literally get to dive into whatever you want. And also keep in mind, we are Paul College students, but we're also University of New Hampshire students. So I'm actually a minor in theater, and because of the Discovery program, where you take classes regarding like the main subjects offered at UNH. I've taken a history, I've taken a science, and even though those were helpful, not my cup of tea again. I took theater, I fell in love with it 100%, and I just love entertainment. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about that, but business, it's all subjective basically, how you look at it.
Yeah, I think a worry, there's nothing that I don't like because your experiences however you want it to be. So there's aspects of business that people worry about, like being just confined to the business school, for example. But I've never felt that because there's so many different opportunities to expand your horizon and not just be confined into Paul College. And there's also like people worry about it being too like numbers and all of that stuff. But again, the marketing, working with, like, I'm interested in a class called the economics of climate change. Like there's a lot of different ways that Paul College incorporates other aspects of other majors, etc. So I think there's nothing that I don't really like about the business school or business in general.
I think that was very beautifully answered. I agree with you 100%. So yeah, we'll keep it moving. How many students are usually in each class? I was thinking, Jamie, do you want to take this one, and how we have like the beginning classes where it's a lot more kids, but then as you trickle down to your specific major, you get what I'm trying to say. I'll let you take the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. Freshman year, I think I probably had between like 50 to 75 students in each of my classes. With that being said, classes like Intro to Hospitality for me were a lot smaller versus, macroeconomics. But now as a senior, I probably have 20, maybe 30 students in each of my classes. So it definitely gets smaller as you go up in the grades.
And Paul College is equipped with lecture halls, but also small collaborative classrooms. So at one point, whether it's going to be Casey soon or being in Jamie and I and even Kamal's shoes, you've been in each different classroom experiencing a whole different experience. So whether that's a lecture hall, which is fine, because I mean, everyone has to take intro to accounting, like those big intro classes. But then as you trickle down, as Jamie said, as you get more specific down the line with your exact major, that's when it gets smaller, a lot more, not hands-on, but you're solely with students that are doing like almost the exact same track as you. Kamal, is there anything else you'd like to add about like the student to faculty ratio?
None at all, but I do agree that as you goes on, throughout freshman to like senior year or junior year, in this case me, your classes do get smaller as people focus on different things, aspect of business administration. So like in my freshman year, for my math class there was like 100 people in the lecture, and so economics as well, there's like 80 people. But as you focus on marketing or management, in this case your classes went from 100 to basically 50, and now to like 30 to like 25. So it does get smaller, but you get to like meet people and see new faces, and also build bond with people that you have also met in previous classes or in organizations. And yeah, it's a really good experience.
And Kamal, I don't know if you can dive more into this, but I obviously took micro and macroeconomics too in like a lecture style. But do you want to talk about how, and definitely in my opinion, I think you can agree, how it didn't really feel like you were like lost in like a sea of people with the lecture, and how it was still very hands-on and very interactive?
Yeah, it's very hands-on. You get to learn a lot of like material that does apply in your future as well, especially in micro and microeconomics. But also in marketing too, with the courses, you also get more involved in team projects or group projects. As you progress throughout the year, you have become basically more hands-on with the course, with projects and hands-on learning experience. So that's what really cool about my journey, at least in this case.
Right. I can totally agree. I totally agree. Even though the lecture hall can be a little daunting when you first
Yeah.
think about it. I know coming from a small high school, I wasn't really too keen on attending like a lecture hall, but I never once felt like I was just lost in a sea of students. I was still able to connect with the professor. Even the accounting professor still knows my name to this day, and I don't know how because I don't love accounting. It's not my cup of tea, and I just did the class to learn about accounting and complete it. But he still recognizes me to this day and still says hi and calls me literally Zach. And it's just like, wow, you have hundreds of kids at a different semester every time, and you still like make a point to really remember all your students. So I always smile when I think about that. But
To add
thank you,
on to
everyone.
that, to
Awesome.
wait. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. What'd you say, Kamal?
Yeah, so there's now like it's more accessible now to reach out with the professor. You can like make appointments too in the office hour to get to know them. So that's what I really like. Also, you're able to stand out as well, which is good.
Awesome. And then does anyone? I'm gonna try and do like a good encompassing question to like knock out 3 questions in a row. So regarding activities around in and around campus with transportation, how do you guys like to hang out within like the Durham area or like maybe go to Portsmouth? And then how to transportation wise, if you want to answer all questions like that. Does anyone want to go and take that one?
I could take it.
Mm-hmm.
I know my freshman year I didn't have a car, but I used the bus system a lot. I was able to go to Newington and shop because I love shopping, and also go down to Portsmouth and get some good food. Also, we have a train right on campus, and it goes right down to Boston. So if you ever wanted to do a day trip, it's actually really easy to do. So I utilized those 2 modes of transportation to kind of get around the area.
Awesome. I don't know if anyone else wants to touch on that, but we do have 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure we get our big questions. But Casey and Kamal, I don't want to leave anyone out. Do you guys have anything else we want to add to that?
I mean, walking in downtown Durham is super fun. I love like on a sunny day when there's a bunch of people out eating or like shopping at like our campus or our, like the UNH gear shops. And I also have taken the train to Boston for a day, and it was so easy and it was so fun actually.
Totally.
Right.
I did. So you go, Kamal.
Right. To add on to that, when Patriots won the Super Bowl, many people actually took the train to Boston and celebrate in the parade, which is really awesome. So you get to be a part of that experience as well. And the train is like cheap too. It's like around $20 trip, I think.
Yeah. And so just to add one little thing about myself, also, when my freshman sophomore year, I also didn't have a car, and I would take the train to Boston either to visit my friends, or I took the train to Boston, then the train from Boston to home. So visiting and going home, very flexible, but also you have to make sure you manage that correctly where you can't be missing class time, stuff like that. But it all depends on what your schedule looks like. So I believe someone just asked that question, so I just want to throw in an answer right there. But awesome. Okay, so I have 3 more main questions that I want to make sure we definitely touch upon. So the one that obviously I love talking about, but I want to give it to Jamie and Casey especially, and Kamal even. But let's talk about fire. So Jamie, do you just want to talk about fire as a whole and all the different things about it? And then Casey, maybe swoop in as to why it's so awesome.
Sure.
So the FIRE program is basically a first-year program for freshman business students, and you get put into a class with a peer advisor who's an upperclassman, and you learn things such as transferring from high school to college and how to do that, but then also things like networking and creating a LinkedIn profile and making a resume. And it's a year-long class, so you're able to be with the same students the entire year to kind of build those connections. And then you also work on a year-long project that you end up presenting at the undergraduate research conference. And so it's really just overall a great opportunity to get the feel of the business school and get the transition from high school to college in a comfortable setting, because you're with all of those students the whole entire year and you're able to learn from an upperclassman who's already been through it. My position in that program is I'm a peer advisor. I've been a peer advisor for 2 years, and actually if you're a hospitality management major, you get to be in all of the same class. So I teach all of the hospitality management students, and I really enjoy it.
Awesome. And I'm also, if I didn't make that clear earlier, I'm also a peer advisor student. I have the same roles as Jamie, but I think it's so awesome that all the hospitality students are grouped together in a nice fire class. So I'm sure that helps them build their connections with each other very strongly. And then, yeah, sorry, take it away, Casey.
Yeah, I can touch upon my experience. So I'm in fire. And I really like it because it's like a group of like 15 of us. And I have learned to get to know them really well. It's actually a really fun class we have once a week for 50 minutes. And my peer advisor, I really like having someone who's still a student at UNH when I can ask him about classes that he's taken, or I was asking him about the business frat a few weeks ago. So it's a really good resource for someone who's still in the school. And yeah, I really like the project that we're working on right now. We have the URC conference coming up soon. So yeah, it's a really good experience.
Awesome. Then Kamal, is there anything that
I
you
agree
missed
with that.
from Fire from freshman year?
Yeah, definitely missed the experience, competing with other teams. And Fire has definitely shaped me who I am today. It has definitely given me with many resources that I wouldn't have known of, such as, different organization, especially me being a commuter, has definitely exposed me to many of those opportunities that, Paul College and UNH has to offer. So I'm very thankful that, Paul College has the Fire program.
I totally agree 100%. I'm so thankful that I was enrolled in Fire,
Yeah.
and I loved it so much that I wanted to become a peer advisor just to give back what I got. And it's an awesome experience, and it's one of a kind. I don't really know of any other schools nearby that have a program implemented like this, because it's educational, but it's also social. Like Kamal said, the competing aspect, he means like points. So students, if they go around to either go to the gym or go to like a trivia night at the MUB, they can submit what they did, and it gets counted for points, and the team with the most points wins like a grand prize at the end. So it's just a great way to promote involvement and engagement with campus and stuff like that. So awesome. Okay, so now let's talk about jobs, internships, or like study abroad, or just even if you haven't done any of those things, just the idea of the program and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start with Jamie again, and we'll work our way down.
Yeah, so the hospitality department does a great job at setting you up with internships. So in the fall, we usually have a networking night where we meet with a bunch of employers. And then in the spring, we have a career fair where those employers come back and they're ready to hire for internships. And so my sophomore year, I was able to meet Malloy Events, and I got an internship with them my sophomore summer as a client manager intern. And I worked on event sites. I helped plan events. And it really got me into the hospitality industry, and it learned what I liked and what I disliked. And I'm actually still working with Malloy Events today. So it also opens up opportunities for potential job opportunities.
Awesome. What about you, Kamal?
UNH really does a great job at, promoting the internship opportunities, especially the career fair. However, I got my internship through a networking. So I attend like a bid course last year in the fall of 2020, and I was able to be in touch with the instructor and getting to know him really well, and he recommended me to his network, which is a partner at Raka, and through that I was being able to be interviewed by the partner and the inbound team, and so I got that position. But yeah, you can get internship through different experience, whether that is attending courses or building networking with professors, or attending CAPS, reaching out to even alumni on LinkedIn. So there's many ways you can be involved. But yeah, it's really a great experience that Paul College has many ways for you to develop professionally.
I totally agree. What about you, Casey?
I really am planning on studying abroad. Sorry, I don't know if I paused. I'm planning on abroad my junior year. I really want to go to France and do the immersion program, so I can get fully fluent in French, which is something I'm really passionate about. And there's also this opportunity that is in Washington, D.C. I forget what it's called right now, but you can do an internship in Washington, D.C. And there's been Paul College students who have like worked in the White House, for example. So I really want to do that because I feel like that'd be an amazing experience.
So as you can see, all four of us, we have or will have totally different experiences, but we've all had definitely some aspects of job and internships, or even program opportunities. So Casey said study abroad, totally doable. You can either study abroad around the world, or you can study away. We can study university in the United States. She was also talking about the semester in the city program. We can go to Boston, DC, all the major cities. They have awesome programs there where just to make it clear, just in case anyone isn't too sure about this, because me and my family were confused about this when I was touring colleges, but it doesn't set you behind if you choose to study abroad or study away or anything like that. The credits will account for that semester, and it will still keep you on track for the plan you have. So that's what I was nervous about. But so I studied abroad last year, and I'm still on track to graduate in the 4 years that I wanted. But then also internships and job-wise, whether it was Jamie's program or Kamal's position, they were lined up with so many opportunities. And it's really awesome that we're also here to take classes, but we're also here to improve our professional development. So you can either have internships in the summer, which is really popular, or like myself and Kamal, you can have internships during the school year. It's totally doable. So thank you guys for all answering those. So we got 2 minutes left. I'm looking at the chat. I think we kind of answered all of the big ones, but so I want to end it with definitely the most important question and kind of good wrap-up question. So why did you choose UNH and Paul College, and why did you choose to stay? Why do you love it so much? So I'm going to kick it with Casey, and we'll end with Jamie.
I chose UNH because I love New Hampshire. I love that UNH is incorporated with the outdoors. There's a lot of outdoor activities, and there's a club for the outdoors. I really love that. I love snow. I love the Four Seasons. But I also thought and knew that Paul College was a really excellent business school. And so I knew that that was going to be a really good place for me to thrive. And have really good resources and all of that I had looked into. So Paul College was actually one of the biggest deciders for me, and also really the Paul Scholars Program was what sealed it. So yeah, I think the experiences that I knew I'd have, as well as the academic experience that I knew I'd have, were what made me choose to come here, and I'm so glad that I did.
Awesome. What about you, Kamal?
I chose UNH for the community and affordability. I live 5 minutes away. However, everyone that I have met here have been driven and unique in their own way. And there's also many ways that you can be involved throughout campus in many organizations. And also there's many resources, especially Paul College being one of the top business schools in the United States has also, made that decision for me to attend UNH and, being a part of the Paul College community.
Awesome. And finally, Jamie.
Yeah, I chose Paul because of the beauty of UNH and how gorgeous it is here. Also because of the location, you're able to go to the mountains or to the city or to the beach in not a lot of time. But then also for the opportunity, especially being a hospitality management major, it's amazing that the major is in the business school. So I don't only get the hospitality background, but I also get the business background, which was really important to me.
Awesome. So as you can see, once again, completely different reasons, and but they all have had the same impact. So we love Paul College, and we could honestly talk about it for hours more, but unfortunately, I believe we are over time. So if you have any more questions, please DM UNH Paul College on this Instagram, or you can even email Paul College, or even email just UNH admissions, and anyone would gladly talk to you if you have any more questions. Thank you for UNH Paul Fire for stepping in to helping with any questions, because obviously there's a short amount of time, but we wanted to make sure that we had enough time to speak about the main things about Paul College. So virtual round of applause for Jamie, Kamal, and Casey. Thank you so much for being a part of this and talking about why you love Paul College. Thank you to everyone attending Accepted Students Visit Day, and we hope to see you in the fall. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.